So, what convinced me to start the carnivore diet? Not all the doctors, not all the influencers, not all the scientific data and all the information that I see, but was mostly this thing, this concept explained in these pictures. In this picture, it's only one picture, so it's self-explanative. How is possible that species, an animal species, can adapt in to a change so big, so huge in our diet and still thrive and be healthy? That was the logic mind process that make me understand this thing has more sense than what we are doing now. That's why I did it. I know somebody that's like-minded like me. I repeat the words. Maybe stop one moment in their life, what they're doing, their routine, their job, and just find 10 minutes to think about this thing. Research on the proper animal diet. Each species has a specific diet. They cannot eat everything except few animals like pigs or other things. They cannot eat everything. Some like the koala, the panda, they have only one or two things they can eat, otherwise they get sick, they die, or anyway they don't thrive, they start to show signs of decay. That's what is happening to our society if you look around. So we were hunter-gatherer. There were not much to gather, as my friend Patrick said in the podcast. Everything was smaller, everything was difficult to cook, harder to reach. There were not much tools, not even to cook, because basically we were cooking on stones, on fire for the majority of our existence. So there were no way to preserve the things other than fermenting things, and then it could have happened, casually, let's say like that, or putting salt, but there was not everything was available everywhere. Most of the fruit was not. Most of the fruit was very, very seasonal because we were not farming anything, and was smaller, was so much less sugary than now. So whatever we think we are eating that is natural, like fruit, we need to understand that is not so natural. We have some fruit that was, let's say, ancestral, that exists from long time before, and then it's almost the same. It didn't change so much, even with the invention of the agriculture. And then these fruits are like dates, figs, and other fruits. The vegetables probably we eat, we try to preserve them with the fermentation. So if we had access to vegetables were fermented, and not always in small quantities. So basically it's like this. It's not my opinion, it's a matter of fact. Species adapt very differently to small changes. Some cannot afford small changes, some can afford small changes without dying or get extinct. But this is a big change, and the timeline is so short. We live 98% of our existence eating mostly meat and animal fats, and now everything is changed in so little time. And I see the changes around. If you see the videos, the older videos before the Second World War, stuff like that. Everybody was in shape, skinny. Diabetes was like something rare. Heart attacks were something rare. Then they start to blame the fats, and now we live in the animal fats they blamed, and now we live in a society of people that is depending on medicine. We get misinformed by the media. They tell us basically that whatever we are doing is the right thing. Eat carbs, eat vegetables, eat this, eat that, bread. Standard American diet is not so much different from the Mediterranean diet. That's what I was doing. That's what made me sick, the Mediterranean diet. So they misinform us. They disinform us with the main media. Big food, big companies, multinationals make us sick with what they sell and what is studied to be attractive in the supermarket. There are all psychological studies about what to put, where to put the food in a way that people get to buy them, those things, the color they use, the places in the shelves. So we got also tricked in this way. They lie to us, they make us sick, and then they made us become client of pharmacy and doctors, studios and stuff like that. And when I was sick, I had the choice. I had three choices. Keep doing what I was doing and die. I don't know if I would have checked some kind of cure, because I'm different, I think, differently than the average, so probably not. But the other choice was follow some doctor, choose one, go to 2, 3, 4, 5 doctors and choose one of them to be the one to follow. You need to trust, you need to choose to trust somebody, and then they always told us that we need to trust the doctors and who have the piece of paper on the wall and went to the university. And change my diet, change my lifestyle. So I choose the third way, and I tell you, it was easy. It was easy because there was no choice, so it was easy. And because this way of eating is not a punishment. It's not a punishment like all the other diets that I did. Imagine all the diets that exist. I tried them all, and they were all punishment. Even the keto, even the 1 meal a day that you can eat whatever you want, a lot, but one time, and that's it. Those were punishment for different reasons. The OMAD, for example, was a punishment because you all day thinking about when you're gonna eat. Then you don't even enjoy when you eat because you are hungry and you want to eat fast. And then after you finish to eat, you start to think about tomorrow. You're gonna eat tomorrow again, and you get sad about it, and something that I could not keep on. Now I do OMAD. Almost naturally, because sometimes I'm not hungry at all with this kind of way of eating, and sometimes I'm hungry once a day. Normally, let's say in a week, I'm hungry twice a day, 2-3 times. One day probably I eat so less that it's basically nothing, like a piece of cheese and drink some milk. Sunday I eat 3 times and maybe once a week, but not every week. So this way of eating is not a punishment, because you can eat 2-3 times if you want, and naturally your body will tell you, today why eating. It will put you in a mindset of not looking for pleasure in food, and this was for me was a surprise, because I didn't expect that. That I'm hungry. I want to eat because I'm hungry, not because can't wait to make this matriciana with the bucatini and tomato sauce and guanciale and the pecorino, blah blah blah, and eat all these carbs, and after feeling like the need of throwing myself in on the floor. I wish many time I said that like a joke. In the best restaurant in the world should have like a mattress on the side, so after you finish to eat, you just throw yourself on the mattress. I went to the all you can eat. Sometime I like, fuck, I really disgust myself, or how. I mean, my goal was make the restaurant fail, kick us out for how much food I was planning to eat every time I went. I didn't go many times. Maybe I went like 5 times in my life, but in America, of course, when I was living there, also in the Philippines, there are this buffet. They are huge. I went one time. I was doing the keto. It was okay because I ate a lot of meat, but go eating carbs and going these places, like, oh my god, this like kill your body. Anyway, I went out of topic. Homo sapiens dietary timeline is the key to understand what's why we are sick, why we should eat meat. There is not much to study. There is not much to research. It's kind of logic. It makes sense like this. There's not much to add. Thank you very much for listening. Take care.